Hey, welcome back, guys. Power Book IV's fourth episode, aptly titled Storm Clouds, played out just like that, the calm before the storm. That isn't to suggest that there weren't plenty of thunderous moments therein, with the pinch of lightning. But overall, the board has evolved following the Flynn children's open moves against their father, Diamond's similar maneuvers against his brother, and Tommy's big play against none other than the Serbs for the whole damn city. I'm here to break it all down in typical Top 10 WTF fashion. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Power. Here we go. WTF moment number 10, brunch date. Tommy meets with Diamond to enlist his services following the good faith established between them after Tommy's disposal of that rival crew back in 102. During their meeting, Vic makes an appearance, having already set up his own affairs with Diamond behind his father's back. Vic reveals his true thoughts regarding CBI, his father, and his willingness to expand despite their differences. After some hilarious banter between themselves and the diner heads, the three set out on a mission in the spirit of unity. WTF moment number 9, sins of the father. In an unfortunate reveal, Paulie briefly visits a homeless man who turns out to be his own son, down very bad. He brings his son a pack of clean clothes along with food, but his son insists on monetary compensation, begging for his father to bless him due to his sickness. As any parent would do for their child, even against their better judgment, Paulie gives his son the money, albeit begrudgingly. WTF moment number 8, tipped off. Our newly formed trio make their move to meet with the Yardies in their collective expansion effort. However, Elijah contacts Diamond and fervently advises him to flee the spot, as their position has been clandestinely exposed to the police. The three hustlers immediately haul ass in order to avoid the almighty 12, led by none other than that bitch-ass nigger Bennigan, who works for the Flynns and previously hassled Diamond in the pilot. WTF moment number 7, still a boy. Walter confronts Vic about his botched deal with Diamond, Tommy, and the Yardies, and reminds him of his place within the Flynn organization. He rebukes his son heavily, even in the midst of Vic's anger, the latter of which reminding him that he'll never become a man while under Walter's thumb. This moment was an inevitable one, and even lent credence to Walter possibly sabotaging Vic's solo endeavors, but more on that later. WTF moment number 6, bill comes due. After a day of shadowing Claudia's every step for Tommy, Liliana finally returns home only to find it inhabited by 2 very pissed off Serbs searching for their missing drugs. They beat our new favorite sidekick profusely, even attempting to suffocate her at one point and use her body as an ashtray as further torture for information. However, upon threatening her eyesight with said cigar, Lily capitulates to their demands, sending Tommy a very cryptic message. Meet me and bring Ghost. More on this later as well. WTF moment number 5, Ghost to the rescue. Lily patiently awaits Tommy's arrival under the guise of luring her connect to the Serbs for their drug compensation. When Tommy finally does make his triumphant savior display, it's in the grandest of fashion. Upon questioning who the identity of Ghost is, the lead Serb gets his cap peeled something nasty, while Liliana takes it to the blade and gets to poking the nigga in the passenger seat to his certain demise. WTF moment number 4, Tatiana, re-entry. As fate would have it, Liliana isn't the only ghost of Tommy's past. It turns out that the female boss that the Serbs alluded to was none other than Tatiana, who once aided Milan against Ghost and Tommy back in Book 1 before they turned the tables, killed Milan, and then sent the remaining Serbs back to Chicago. Tatiana rebukes her men for allowing Lily to cause such a ruckus within her organization and jumps in the whip like a boss, focused on remedying the situation herself once and for all. WTF moment number 3, light it up. D-Mac revisits JP's bar in an effort to cause similar damage as before. His soldiers, on the other hand, insist on robbing the establishment in addition to vandalizing it, something that D-Mac is against. They both get a huge surprise, however, in the form of JP himself, who confronts the boys, bat in hand, and commands them to stand down. D-Mac then causes a timely diversion to spare his father's life, unbeknownst to him, of course. JP then questions the youngster on why his club has been a target for him, an answer he wouldn't receive due to D's subsequent fleeing of the scene. WTF moment number 2, terms of employment. Claudia gets May to set up a meeting with the chemist behind Dahlia, the drug that she intends to catapult her own empire from outside of the rigidity of the Flynn empire. Claudia meets the doctor's apprehension with blackmail, threatening to expose her medical misdeeds if she doesn't play ball. She is slowly becoming the savage her father seeks in Vic, and arguably worse. Her subtle nature and larger-than-life smile disguises it well, but she has some Beanie Siegel in her blood, especially after expressing her expectations to the doctor that she'd either get down or lay down. I can't wait to see where her arc ends up by the finale. And WTF moment number 1, already dead. Tommy conducts a final showdown with Tatiana, attempting to return her stolen coke. However, the Serbian queen is out for more than money, but blood as well, especially considering the previous loss of Jason and her most recent loss of soldiers at Tommy and Liliana's hands. Upon threatening the Windy City Chancellor's life, she loses a few more men at the hands of Vic Flynn, who has officially teamed up with Tommy after Diamond's refusal. Tommy flaunts his final victory in the midst of Tatiana's pleas for life via reminding Tommy that it was her who saved him from Jason's wrath back in Book 1, Season 4. That instance notwithstanding, Tommy drives a blade into Tatiana's neck and subsequently steals the product, once again having essentially murdered another round of Serbs. Some lingering thoughts before we end today's video. Who do you guys think tipped off the police to thwart Diamond, Vic, and Tommy's business arrangement with the Yardies? Was it Jannard? Walter? A Yardie on the inside seeking revenge? Let me know what you guys make of this. Many of you had reservations about the forced timeline last week in the comments for my episode 3 recap, and Tommy has cleared up any lingering misconceptions with one quote. Ain't you heard? I'm already dead. This confirms that once Tommy left Tariq back in Ghost Season 1, he headed to Chicago to carry out his own storyline, which is what I believe to be the case from the beginning. Also, as I stated last week, the feds potentially IDing him outside of Gloria's bar could potentially blow back in the worst way. In either case, I accept y'all's apologies. Vic deciding to put business over pleasure was a rare player move for the otherwise simpish son of Walter. His desire towards Gloria is genuine, but his motivation towards legacy, not his father's, but his own, supersedes everything else, at least for now. That's something that we can respect, but surely won't last as Walter further presses his own agenda onto his son's life. When Liliana texted Tommy to, quote, bring Ghost, I interpreted this as code for bring death or no mercy. Lily understood Ghost's post-mortem predicament due to her prior exchange with Tommy during the start of their partnership, and she knew Tommy would pick up on the code as a 911 for her own pending demise, sans his arrival. It was yet another great nod to the legendary one himself, who always led with the sword when the time came, and death surely thereafter. Jannard pleaded with his brother to make a choice, seemingly on the fence about opposing him outright, despite his overtures towards the beginning of 104. And Diamond did just that, denying to assist Tommy with his Serb beef. That may potentially blow back on Diamond once Tommy fully gains control of the city, but being a resident, Diamond understands which battles to pick and which ones to avoid, something Tommy could learn from, though I doubt he will. While we're on Jannard, it makes sense that he's dabbling in the product. He's a lively one to say the least, and borderline annoying in some instances. But be that as it may, his stance is justifiable considering what he sacrificed to obtain power, his young life and education. 15 years is a mighty long time, and hopefully he and Diamond can reach some type of equilibrium before the holes in the CBI ship sink it all together. And lastly, Liliana's final quote that a storm's coming spoke to more than just the clouds above, but the certain retaliation to come following the gangster and borderline reckless actions of this stellar episode. This sequel is really revving up now. And that'll do it for this one. What were your thoughts on Storm Clouds? Be sure to drop me your opinions in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.